to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
What do? I do shit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Big E. Hello, King. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir.
How was your? I was wondering how your ride home was last night.
Don't get me started.
Was it? Here's what happened. We got such a late start. We didn't start till, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And you ran into Kendrick Lamar traffic at the Palace coming here.
Yeah.
Did you run into it going home as well?
Oh, I did indeed, Mike.
Oh.
I was hustling home to hopefully watch the rest of the beautiful game, U.S. v. Jamaica.
Congratulations, U.S.
Yeah, I wasn't so lucky. I got stuck in some major Palace traffic.
See, you won't have to deal with that anymore. When they tear it down, Jay, you won't have to deal with that anymore.
I knew you were going to say that. I've lamented the idea of the Palace leaving because I love it. You know, I think it's a great venue.
You just think it's a shame to lose a great venue.
I do.
It still has plenty of years left in it.
I think it's just, it is a shame. It speaks to our culture, the wasteful nature of our culture.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there just going, God damn it, I want to be home.
Yeah.
And you're waiting for asshole, you know, these guys that are pulling out into the intersection as the light goes yellow, and so they're stuck, and you're like, motherfucker, dude, you just caused me to sit through 2 more lights, you son of a bitch.
There's nothing more selfish. We could grieve about this.
Yeah.
There's nothing more selfish than the guys that pull halfway into an intersection, and then the light turns yellow, and then red, and it's like, thanks, dick face. That was great.
Stopped the entire thoroughfare.
Yeah, you've wiped out 4,000 cars going this way so you could move up 10 feet.
Yeah.
Nice job, dick face. Happened to me just the other day.
Me too.
Yeah.
Last night.
Yeah. It's terrible.
So, yeah, anyway.
I would
small
think traffic
problems.
wouldn't be that bad the way you were going,
Well,
though.
they shut it down in weird ways. Even if you have a green light, the cops
Yeah.
are there stopping you to get people hustled out of the Palace parking lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've benefited from that leaving the Palace, so I guess you have to suck it up every now and then.
I couldn't deal with that, living so close to a venue like that, whether it's Pine Knob or the Palace.
I don't get
that
all
would
those
be hard.
people-
Because there's just too many nights you can't plan for. Oh, fucking ice capades are here.
Yeah,
You know,
I said
and
that
it's like-
before. It is remarkable how many events they have there. You just think, oh, Pistons games, and then a one-off event, a one-off concert every now and then. Dude, they've got a lot of shit. Even sometimes midday, they'll have like a conference or something that backs stuff up. But usually,
Plus, it's hard to plan then. I would think you'd always have to be checking like what's going on at the Palace, because that can be the difference. I'll be there in a half hour, or I'll be there in an hour and a half.
no, I mean, you can. It usually occurs to me like, oh fuck, you know, such and such will be letting out. I'll just go up to the next exit.
Yeah.
So usually not a problem. In the grand scheme, small issues.
Yeah.
Otherwise, things are good, Mike.
Yeah. Good. Well, we got a lot going on as we head into the weekend. I'm actually kind of excited for DCFC in the playoff this weekend out at Keyworth Stadium. I'm not usually excited about soccer. And yesterday when you left here, you had the game on, the U.S. versus Jamaica, U.S. v. Jamaica. And I'm sitting there, and as soon as the door closed, I was like, well, can get rid of this now. And I started to flip to one of the news channels, and then I was like, wait a minute.
It's 1-1,
I'm like,
dude.
It was 1-0 U.S. at that point, and then Jamaica tied it up, I believe. And I'm like, this is actually kind of a cool game, and it is the final. Why don't I just – and I actually got into the game
Hell yeah.
and started watching it and got into it, and I was actually kind of excited when we scored.
It's your country, man.
Yeah.
It's
Who was
the
the
U.S.
guy?
national team.
Dempsey, who's really good.
Dempsey's a stud.
Yeah, he's been I don't know how old
He's
he is.
34 years old.
Yeah, so he's old, and he's been here forever. He had a couple chances and shot, and I'm just like, dude, Jay wasn't kidding. This guy's for real,
He's a difference
man.
maker. He usually comes on as a sub now, but he comes in and changes the game a lot of
Yeah,
times.
he looked good out there, but I was fearing one of those famous like Red Wings possess the puck for 99% of the game, and then it goes to overtime, transition, and then boom, you lose. I was waiting for one of those because Team US was just dominating.
A couple beautiful strikes. You guys look them up out there if you haven't seen them. A couple great goals, beauties.
It was fun to watch, though, so congrats to them. Anyway, Justin Bieber in the news today. We'll get to that.
Biebs.
You can imagine the amount of protests that are erupting over Trump and his transgender stand. As you said, no chicks with dicks in our military. None. Wrong. It's wrong. And so people are up in arms about that. And then one of our biggest fears ever, Jay, the amusement park ride.
Oh my God,
that goes
the fair
already.
ride, right?
Yeah. Well, the fair ride's a whole different level too, isn't it?
When you're talking like a Cedar Point amusement park versus a traveling fair, whole different level.
Well, we a lot of times you'll see this in like Mexico or something, or some far off
godforsaken place.
Yeah, and you're like, what did you expect, man? But it hits close to home, and it's something we've talked about here. We've taken notice of. Boy, that looks like a rusty
bolt.
That's a rusty bolt on the corkscrew there at Cedar Point.
Anybody check the tensile strength on that son of a bitch?
Exactly. Stuff that we never would have thought of when we were growing up. You just figure someone's got that. Someone's on that. Also, Chester Bennington. Some more news on him a little bit. But we should probably start with the Biebs. Do you want to do a read really quick? You want to bang that?
Sure. The Hamlin Pub supports the Detroit Cast, so let's make it a point to support them. With locations in Rochester Hills, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 in Shelby Township, there's one near you. The Hamlin Pubs have great food, ice-cold drinks, tons of craft beers, TVs, games, and great entertainment. Come on by or book your reservation today at hamlinpubs.com.
I don't really know what to make of what's going on with Justin Bieber. Remember he canceled his show.
He was just in the news for canceling his show, and it was
his whole tour, not even a show.
Right. It was speculated that it was because of his new Christian faith, or maybe not so new Christian faith.
Yeah.
But then last night he hits a paparazzi member
leaving church.
Oh, was he leaving church?
He was leaving church.
He's
yeah,
leaving
you
for
got
church. Are you sure? Because when I looked,
he was walking out of church.
Okay.
And into his car. That's what they said.
Huge ass truck.
Yeah.
What was that thing? Like an F-350 or something?
It was a Dodge Ram, I think, but it was obviously jacked up and all tinted out.
It's got to be for the Biebs.
Hell
that little
yeah.
guy with his little cap on sideways.
Hell yeah.
We
usually see him in like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or something. I don't picture him in a big Ram truck. But you always have to look at these when an artist decides to cancel the rest of a tour, and you've got 14 dates left. There's some, you can look at that a few different ways. I know people are bummed about it, but artists don't just cancel the remainder of a tour.
Seriously.
There's usually, and to just go, oh yeah, he found religion, like that doesn't make sense. You're talking about tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, people that are working, hundreds of people that are in charge of tearing down and building up like there's a lot of people that are involved.
You would think there'd have to be a direct obstacle to him doing that show.
Right.
What is that obstacle?
Right. Is there some sort of, usually it would be like a substance abuse thing where it's like he needs to get help now. But to see him out in the town, it just doesn't make sense. Right. The other thing is I think he was on tour the last 18 months, which is a long run to be out there doing 200 shows and, in a year and a half or whatever it was. So I don't know, but there's still. I feel like there's more to that story than we've been told.
Well, it sounds like the press is trying to make it sort of like this cult leader type thing. I've seen pictures, social media pictures of the pastor of this church and him, and they're trying to make it look like he's kind of taking him under his wing. And
they're calling Biebs the Tom Cruise of this church.
There you go.
And I'll give you some insight on that church. They're not without controversy themselves, but. For Bieber's part, anywhere he goes, there's just this mountain of paparazzi around him, and it's hard to feel bad for those guys because it's like, okay, do you really need 300 of you here, just constantly within 2 feet of someone's face, just like that? It would be so hard not to just in a bad mood, get in a fight with your girl or whatever, and not just blast one of those dudes.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Penn made a cottage industry of doing so.
Tommy Lee as well. Yeah. Tommy Lee busted more than his share of.
And you can understand why.
Totally. I mean, if think about it, if you walked out at the door here and there was just 20 people everywhere you went, just going Jay,
as if there's not
well, yeah, you've got a couple, and then you see him, with those telephoto lenses a mile from your house in a tree.
I open my window, fuck,
your dong's hanging down to the floor, and it's like, oh shit, how did they, and they're 2 miles down.
That would wear on you for sure.
But
this isn't one of those instances. He gets in his truck just to leave, and it honestly looks totally by accident. It doesn't look like to me that he revved it into the guy at all. He's just trying to pull out of a driveway, and the guy stood there.
Yeah.
In fact, I put more blame on the paparazzo. How do you say it singular?
Paparizio.
I put more blame on him, and I wonder if it in fact wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Just let the guy run over your foot.
My first thought was fake. That's my first thought when I saw him laying down
or the
shot.
Bumper nudged you and
Yeah. And there's you can definitely I guarantee there will be a lawsuit filed for emotional stress I can't sleep. I don't feel safe at my job anymore. And you throw all those on to a guy like Justin Bieber. Maybe it makes more sense for him to just go give him $1 million and make it go away. So that was my thought. Though, was like, dude, you didn't. Who hasn't been hit by a bumper, bumped by a bumper at one point in your life? So anyway, he's a 57-year-old photographer. We've got the video. I believe you have the video there, E. Let's see for ourselves.
So here's the Biebs in his huge truck. Man. What's he wearing today? Oakland Athletics?
Looks like Oakland A's gear, yeah. Hey, bro. Look at this
so
shit.
You got like 15 guys at least in frame.
That tire is turned into a knee.
He's turning, and it looks like he's got big-ass wide tires.
Yeah, he does.
Wider than the truck itself. Maybe he did gun it a little bit.
A little bit, but...
They're playing this in church.
Yeah.
Called it already, man.
I can feel it in my whole leg. I'm probably going to have to amputate. This is going to cost you a lot of money.
So the Biebs gets out to his credit and is like trying to help the guy,
Yeah, he knows with all those cameras there. It's not that situation where you can bail.
Honestly, I think the Biebs is unaware of how wide his tire is.
Yeah, I think
He's
you're
just
right.
turning out of the driveway and that big wide tire hits the guy.
He's used to Lamborghinis. He knows what his turning radius is, and now he's in a souped-up, jacked-up, big-tired truck. Probably right. He doesn't understand how much room he's got.
Wide.
But, the paparazzi, what are you doing? Get out. There's a truck coming.
Take
Get
one
out of the
step
way.
back.
Yeah, you don't need to be
Yeah,
all
he's
on
leaving
him.
now. It's all blacked out. You can't get more pictures. Let him leave, dude.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So Kourtney and Khloe Kardashian were said to have been at the services there that night. They were not involved in the collision, as you can see there. Justin was driving, as we said, that black Dodge Ram out into the street parking space when he collided with him. Beverly Hills police arrived shortly after that. 1 ambulance, a fire truck, and 10 police cars were needed, apparently. They all arrived on the scene. They spoke to Justin afterwards before all going into the church together. Comes just days after he canceled his Purpose tour, which he said at the time was due to unforeseen circumstances. He's canceling the tour. Justin loves his fans, hates to disappoint them. He thanks them for the incredible experience over the past 18 months, so a year and a half on the road. He thanks them for he is grateful to have shared the experience with his cast and crew for over 150 successful shows. Tickets will be refunded. So inside this church, they've apparently got 37,000 members worldwide.
Yeah, dude.
The Hillsong Church.
It's from New South Wales. This is the second time New South Wales, Australia has hit the podcast this week.
Yes. It was launched in Sydney. Is that where Sydney is?
Sydney is just south, I believe.
Just south, okay.
New South Wales.
In 1983, a church launched by Brian Houston and his father Frank. Just seems weird, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, Brian and his dad Frank are
they're
launching a
pastors.
church.
They're both pastors. I don't know.
That makes a lot more sense now because Frank was confessing to abusing young boys at one point.
Oof.
Yeah, before he died in 2004. He was forced out of the Hillsong Church in 2000 after allegations of sex abuse, child sex abuse, were raised. He died before any of those allegations were proved, though. The church has been accused of pushing congregations to donate cash to keep them going, maybe making people question if it's a modern-day cult or not. But don't they all push
Hold on, man.
for cash?
All churches take tithes.
Yeah.
And that's one big obstacle, organized Christianity has, is people easily just go, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, here I am as a visitor, and you're asking for money now. I get it. I get what this is all about.
Yeah.
Fact is,
pyramid scheme.
They've got to run the place, so
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to say that any religious organization is stealing money if they're collecting money from congregants.
Yeah.
Although I obviously some have been shown to do that, so I'm not so naive to say.
Well, there's a big difference between passing around the plate and people throwing a buck or two in, whatever they can afford, and the ones we see where those televangelists are just like milking seniors out of every dollar.
Of course,
and
they're financing their private jets and everything.
And then going, Jesus wants you to donate it. I know it's the end of your Social Security check this month, but Jesus wants it.
I need this Gulfstream because I can't fly commercial because I need quiet time to pray. Wasn't that one guy's?
He was talking to God on his private jet, and God was telling him it was a good idea. Wasn't there some problem with devils being on airlines too?
Something like that.
And he needed to get where he was going so he could help people faster as well. like you can justify it any way you want. And if that's the case, you really need a Gulfstream 4.
Dude, so many people
So
have
stupid.
hijacked religion in so many ways over the millennial that it's like it's tough, dude. Because as I've said before, I'm a Christian. I go to church, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You've got everything from potential fraud, through the money issue to the child sex abuse. It's I mean, it's huge black marks on the whole thing.
Well, I went to Ward Presbyterian Church in Livonia when I was young.
That was, dude, back in the day, that
was a big
friggin' church.
Yeah. And I can honestly say there was a period there where we went like every week. I hated every minute of it. Like as a kid, you just wanted to play and watch cartoons.
Yeah,
I didn't want to dress up and take a shower and have to go to church.
Wear your Buster Browns.
Yeah, but I remember doing like ski trips and going to church, catechism, I think one summer, which totally sucked. And then I remember summer camp for a couple of years, and then my mom just went, yeah, we're not doing this shit anymore. And so we stopped, and I was like 12. But up to that point, I did what you did and what everybody else did, went and listened and all that stuff. I can honestly say at no point did I ever feel like, that guy wants to touch my dong.
Right,
I just know it.
Right.
Like at no point,
it's obviously the exception, but of course that extreme example is going to get press and get people's ear and affect people's viewpoint of organized religion. It's too bad.
So how much do you think the tithe brings in? And the other thing I wanted to say, Jay, is when you're talking about hijacking a religion, it's very appealing because it doesn't take much to say, like, I'm a religion, I have my rights, and get your tax-free status. Dude, think about how appealing that is to, like, we can take in money and not owe anything on it. That's huge. It welcomes, scam artists.
Have we pursued this? We have been. You have been called the cult leader, Mike.
I know, dude. If we just called the Detroit Cast a religion, could we get some sort of?
Well, there's a biblical basis to your question before to a 10% tithe.
Yeah.
So you ask how much? I mean, if the Kardashians and Bieber are abiding by the biblical basis, you could take 10%.
Wow, that's quite a bit of money. But you would think the church would be going, dude, do we really need to cancel the last 14 days of this show?
Yeah.
They're looking at their bottom line going, dude, we can make another $2 million off this cat if we just... That's before. Is that before taxes, the 10%?
Correct. Yeah. It's gross, dude.
It is gross.
Yeah.
Gross! That's a lot of money. I agree. It is gross.
Is it in the Bible that it's gross, not net?
Yes.
How fortuitous?
There's not like accounting principles in the Bible, but I believe honestly there's scripture that goes to that point.
You shall giveth 10%
prior to taking 2 sheep out of that and giving it to the king.
Yeah.
You give 10%.
And to be clear, we mean grosseth. Didn't you have a buddy that was struggling with his role in the church recently? Do you want to talk?
He doesn't want to out him.
I don't know if I want to get into it. I have a friend that was working with the church that recently just didn't like some of the money situation going on.
Ooh. See, there you go.
What was he questioning? He didn't dare question anybody, did he?
There may have been.
Well, we haven't heard from him in a while.
Is he gone now? Is he on a milk carton somewhere?
He's playing tennis somewhat regularly.
I don't know. I guess I could probably say because he doesn't care. I mean, yeah, Ty was working with a church and he isn't anymore, and there was. Definitely some of it was that...
Was it that he was taking part of it, or...?
No, he was starting to
look around what's going on with us.
Some of the...
He was questioning some of the, like, principled stories of the Bible and stuff and asking people, and they didn't really have good answers.
That wasn't most... That was personal, no, but the financial part was...
What do you mean when you say financial part? Like tithing, or...?
Just the fact
where
of,
the money's
like,
going, right?
Well, yeah, kind
what
of that.
Being used for.
There was like these rules of where like a past, like a father or whatever is only supposed to. And I'm not, dude. Obviously, I'm gonna be terrible at explaining this, but he explained it to me.
Yeah, right.
And he was like the idea of like a father is only supposed to be in a certain area for a certain amount of years, and they're supposed to be moving these guys around. But if you were able to like get your ranking higher in the
raise more money
and higher your ranking in your position, then all of a sudden I guess you could stay a little bit. You could stay longer based on how much money you were making.
Seems
for
fair
the
though. I mean, the Girl Scout troop that sells the
I
most
almost
cookies
wish you
gets
not
better
brought me
prizes,
into this,
right?
dude, because I'm not going to be able to explain it, and I'm going to look like an asshole.
Yeah, they don't want to let that guy go. That's fundraising the best.
Yeah.
So in 2016, the church reported that more than half of its revenue was through donations, while another 19% was through Christian rock albums it produced.
Dude, that's where I've heard this. Yeah, I've definitely heard Hillsong. Yeah, okay.
So they've got like a music studio somewhere and they're producing.
I don't know,
artists?
but it definitely rings a bell now. Go on.
Can you
Sorry.
can you Google Hillsong rock Christian rock bands or something? I'd love to hear what kind of music they're putting out there. I imagine it's killer. I'd like to hear it first though. The church first spread to the U.S. in 2010 with celebrities including Bieber, Vanessa Hudgens attending services, Kendall and Kylie Jenner, Nick Jonas, and as we said earlier, Tom Cruise is kind of being, or Bieber is being described as the Tom Cruise of this church, like Tom is to Scientology.
I guess this might. Oh, this says like according to this, it says if you just, like pause it.
If it's good, I'll buy it.
Well, no, but it says if you look, Oceans, blah blah blah.
By Hillsong United. What is Hillsong United? Is that like a?
Well, that's what he
It
told
is
me.
Australia. I see Australia and Christian rock band, and Hillsong. I'm gonna guess that this. So far, so Christian. Move it ahead.
Doesn't
here.
seem offensive to me.
No.
Seems inspiring enough.
My soul will rest in your embrace, for I
It's not real rockish.
Get to the hook, E.
Yeah, kick it up here. Let's go.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! Rock!
your grace abounds in
Already passed the hook again. Okay, what's the hook? It's a 9-minute
I don't
song.
think you've got. It's a 9-minute song. They're gonna get 0 airplay on the radio. None.
Gotta chop this down.
You come in at 3:20,
Yeah.
3:30, you're
Needs to be
good. But
digestible.
dude, what are you, Pink Floyd? You think you're gonna get a 9-minute song on the air? What are you? They made Frampton cut his song. They made Billy Joel trim down Piano Man to make it fit for airwaves.
I'm trying to see other songs by.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Hills. Well, that's Oceans too. Is that their only song?
That could be the album.
Look at all these versions of Oceans United. No, they're all.
No,
like
when you
9
said that it
minutes.
was like a production behind, like that rung a bell with me. I've heard of Hillsong.
Have you?
With respect to Christian music somehow, but I didn't think it was a group. I thought it was more of like Geffen Records or something.
Oh yeah,
You know,
well,
like
it's
a
based in the
label.
church. They probably have a side business. I wonder if that counts for tax-free stuff too. If they tie it to the church, who knows? I bet they'll try to do that. If not,
Here's it's like, it's their website, I guess.
Empires of Dirt and Grace. Yeah, I don't want to dive that much into it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Not that I did.
What's that?
I didn't. Not that I wanted to. I just thought.
Oh, that's all right. Do you remember the religious rock groups when we were growing up?
Striper, dude.
Striper, but there was another one too. Like
There's like a rap one or something.
was
Dude,
there?
POD was technically Christian,
Really?
a Christian band.
Huh.
I remember my one friend who's an atheist got bummed out when he found out about it or something. I don't even know. I think he might have stopped listening to them even after he heard that.
There was another one, Jay, that was weird. Like, I know. I think some people point to Creed now.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Christian rock group. But there was another one. It started with an A or a P, and I can't remember. But I remember like kids, when I was 12, like being into it. I was like, oh,
Totally remember Striper.
yeah,
Because it was like a hair metal kind of.
Hell
look.
yeah.
They were all yellow and black. Remember?
yeah,
that?
like bumblebees.
Yeah.
Michael Sweet was the lead singer.
What?
Of Striper, and his brother.
Oh, didn't you go see them or something?
Sweet. They may have opened for someone I saw.
Yeah.
To
Petra.
hell. Petra.
Yes.
That's it. To hell with the devil.
Yes, dude. I haven't thought about that in 30 years. 40 years.
Did you remember that?
Yes.
I wonder how bad. Pull up Striper to hell with the devil. E. Let's watch just a second of it and see.
Yeah, dude. Petra, Striper. Those were two. let's
Petra's
see.
the one I was thinking of. dude.
Deliverance. Steve Taylor. Amy Grant was big.
Oh
remember
yeah,
her?
yeah,
She
sure.
crossed over.
She did. She definitely crossed over. Someone else did too. Didn't Taylor Swift or one of those like focus?
Michael W. Smith. He was one.
Yes! Yes!
Dude, I might know the lyrics.
Look
to
at
this
them,
song.
dude.
Look at that, E. This guy could sing his balls off, too.
Really?
Didn't he have one of those, like, high-pitched, like, good voices? Speak of the devil, he's no friend of mine. And the thief. See, I can't sing that high. Let him know where he can go. Where are you going to send him, Michael Sweet?
To hell with the devil.
Yes! Yes! Go to hell, devil! Go to hell, you devil!
With the devil.
Take all them white devils with you!
Oh, I'm going to bust out my Striper cassettes later.
I was going to say cassettes for sure.
We just lost half our audience right
Yeah.
now. It's like,
No,
what
honestly,
the
I bet a
hell?
lot of people out there remember that.
You think?
Like, yeah, dude, Striper, the black and yellow guys.
Yeah, yeah. Moving on to other things. Protests busted out all over. I mean, that's just what we do. We disagree with something in politics, and we take to the streets.
We hashtag the shit out of it. We change our Facebook avatars, and we take to the streets.
Yeah, we stand up. We fight back. We hashtag resist, Jay. That's just what we do. And hundreds took to the streets of the likes of New York City, the usual
Hundreds?
spots.
Well.
Yeah. D.C., San Francisco, New York. Didn't see a lot in Detroit, I got to be honest with you. But this all comes on the heels of Trump yesterday going, if you're a chick with a dick, you're not welcome in our military. Sorry, you cost too much, and you're probably mentally unstable or something. Probably, which is wrong. He had a whole. He's paraphrasing, of course, but demonstrators waved pink and blue flags and held signs bearing slogans, "Trans lives are not a burden." As they took to the streets, they could be heard chanting, "Stand up and fight back." Others marched on foot outside the White House bearing signs which read, "We're here. We're queer. We hate the fucking president." Is that supposed to rhyme?
We've been through this.
I know.
I mean, we've seen some bad chants, and that's as bad as they get, Mike, honestly.
I mean, there's got to be another line there that rhymes after that, right? We're here. We're queer. We hate the fucking president. We're here. We're queer. We hate the fucking president. We're here. I guess that sort of works. Would a rhyme work better? What would a rhyme be for queer here? We're here. We're queer. So we could use leer,
Near,
deer, beer, fear. Fear would be a good one. We're here. We're queer. This president shops in fear, or
I hear you. I feel you.
you feel me? Yeah.
It'd be better.
What are the ones that we got? Dear, queer, near, year, weir.
What's your rate?
I just want to help them with their
What's your rating
signs,
chance
dude.
for transgender dudes?
What's that?
Let them come up with their own.
Yeah. Okay. So he says Trump was saying that they're a burden. I don't know that they're financially a burden. Honestly, when you look at-
has anybody done the breakdown? Like, what are they really?
yeah, they did, and it was just nominal. It's like when you say the wall is a burden, and it's like $15 billion. $15 billion is a nickel. It's a drop in the bucket. If it's something that will really help you, it's just not that much money
Right.
in the overall scheme of things. And so when they're talking about they cost about $8 million a year, it's like, dude, don't lean on $8 million a year.
Why is he doing this right now?
I don't know. So people are questioning
Is he
that.
changing the subject from something?
Maybe he could be.
Let's get rid of the Russia shit. Let's bring other bad press upon myself.
Yeah. Well, if he brings bad press, it does get rid of. It knocks Russia as the big topic off the
Yeah.
front page. If he's worried about the healthcare thing or the Jeff Sessions story, I don't know what he's doing with Jeff
I
Sessions.
mean, this does kind of mobilize his base, right? To scramble around him and go, yeah, hell yeah.
yeah,
right?
but it is just divisive as shit, though, man. Honestly, I don't, whatever. But once you're down that road, and when I started reading about possibly 6,000 members, like, what are you going to do? Did anyone think this through? Or are we just tweeting out shit? It just seems like a politically bad move in such a divisive time right now.
He hasn't shown himself to be concerned with politics.
Very true.
Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be
Burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that the transgender in the military would entail. So they had Miss Peppermint was out there, a former Army veteran. Miss Peppermint.
She was. Was she?
Hell yes.
Hi, I'm Miss Peppermint.
Hi, I go by Miss Peppermint. It's not that they're afraid of us. You know what? they're afraid of? That they're just like us. Yeah, you nailed it. Miss Peppermint, you know.
You're exactly right.
Leave
I
it
have
to
this
Miss...
fear of my dong.
Yeah.
I want it gone immediately.
I thought I was safe, like, hiding back here in the shadows, but Miss Peppermint saw through me. And the
She's
fact
shown
is...
the light. She's shown the light on you.
I'm not afraid of transgender. I'm just afraid that I'm one, too. So, Alyssa Milano was out there? Wasn't she the one we were talking
Well, she's been turning down jobs. Right? She was the one in all the financial problems because her financial advisor, I guess, bilked her of millions, allegedly.
Allegedly. Samantha. Mona. Jonathan. She was out there. I was proud to support this LGBTQRS community at the hashtag No Trans Ban rally. What an easy, simple thing to jump on.
Yeah.
I don't know who this is, Jay, but I got to admit, dude, this chick is not bad looking.
She's friggin' hot.
She's not, dude, of all the transgender women you've seen, it's like, it's easy to go, Caitlyn Jenner, I still see a dude in there.
Are you sandbagging here?
But I'm telling you, this chick is not that bad. I mean, seriously, when you look at all the transgenders out there.
Looks like Iggy Pop. I don't know.
Well,
honestly,
if Iggy Pop was like 6'4" and 220 and shredded.
Does it have?
I mean,
come on, man.
Are we even trying now, or are we just using the label?
Yes, he's trying. He has his pink lacy panties on. Of course he does.
I mean, that's just a guy with long hair.
Yeah.
It's a guy with long hair.
And a vest.
And he's ripped. He's showing off his guns.
Oh, my God. Where is this from?
I think that was in New York.
Oh, boy.
I think. Anyway, their outrage did nothing to shift the administration's position at a press briefing. Sarah Huckabee Sanders stood by the president's decision. This was a military decision. This was about military readiness. This was about unit cohesion. This is about resources within the military and nothing more. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with most of that statement. But when you talk about money, like financially, that just seems like, okay, you're going down the wrong road there with that one. That's just
you could
that's
almost
just not much.
You could
money.
almost say, look, as they did all those other factors, and be like, it's a huge distraction. We need these men and women focused.
Yep.
And we need to move forward in a diligent manner as
and
military members.
That's totally my position. It's like what you don't want those guys focusing on is outrageous media coverage every time someone comes out or is, there's a problem because they can't meet the male requirements, which they could when they were a female or whatever. It's like it's a distraction, and that particular unit of our world is like, no, man, just these guys
be
do what they do.
Be the killing machines that you are.
I don't need them going through sensitivity training. I want them going through anti-sensitivity training. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and hearing these generals going, well, I just sent my Army unit through sensitivity training 2 weeks ago. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What? I don't want them to feel empathy for the fucking sons of bitches they're murdering.
No.
Get out there and whoop their ass, boys.
We don't want to risk that.
What would one of those generals?
Oh, you're in General Washington pose now.
What would General Washington say if you told him, by the way, we're going to need your
fathom this.
We're going to need your boys to go through some sensitivity training, and then some of their wives back home are actually boys now, and they're going to be joining you on the run.
Yeah.
What?
That would have been very confusing, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, a chick with dick story. You know what that means.
Yeah,
A Zott Ford read. Zott Ford and Holly makes buying and leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV incredibly fun and easy. Yes, they have a foosball table. Yes, they have fresh movie-style popcorn. And, of course, they have the hottest sales staff in Oakland County. Plus, if you accidentally leased your current vehicle from another dealership, Zott Ford will happily return that vehicle for you. No need to deal with that old boring-ass dealership anymore. Zott Ford has you handled. Peep their irresistible deals, their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Another cheap shot that's been thrown around, Jay, in regard to the transgender issue and Trump and stuff, is how the fight back against that is, oh my God, you think that's a lot of money being spent on transgender medical issues in the military? They spend 10 times as much on Viagra and erectile dysfunction. What do you say about that? And it kind of just drops it out there that, like, yeah, military guys, their dicks don't work or something. But if you remember, the reason that Viagra was made, it's like one of the side effects was that it gave you just fucking rock boners. But it was a blood thinner or something.
Something like that.
And so a lot of the reason...
Blood pressure medicine?
Yes. And so a lot of the prescriptions for
really?
Yes, for that type of drug in the military is for that. Plus, imagine... It is, dude. It is. It is. And imagine
There's not an alternative that doesn't give you a boner.
Yeah, they should give it a different name, right? No, I think that's the magic in there that's in it.
Okay.
Just gives you fucking ragers. I think the other thing is when you're dealing with stress and PTSD, which so many of those guys are, you can have so much sexual dysfunction from stuff like that. And so, military guys are like, hey, man, it's none of your business, first off, but I've seen some horrific shit that I can't get out of my mind.
And I just want a clean boner.
I just want to get fucking rocked, bang one out.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone. I'm working my ass off over here.
No, that's what happens to your point earlier about the relatively small amount of money. That's what happens when you dangle that out as a reason. It's easy to attack with things like that.
Since October, transgender troops have been able to get medical care to begin changing their gender identity. Is that true? That can't be true.
Say that again.
Since October, transgender troops have been able to get medical care to begin changing their gender identity.
That was the Brad Manning thing, right? I mean, he got punched through to that next level.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. That I'm not in favor of. I don't want to front the cost for that. You want to chop your dick off, by all means, have at it, but cover it yourself.
That's pretty expensive.
Yeah. 1 dead and 7 hurt. Have you ever ridden the Fireball, Jay?
I've not, dude, but I showed this to Russell and Manning today, and both of them confirmed that they had ridden this ride called something else at the Oakland County Fair 2 weeks ago.
I don't know how you let your boys go to the... I mean, how do you stop it, first off? There was no keeping me from the Livonia Spree. Not happening.
They've been to 3 such fairs this year.
Yeah. It's the perfect breeding ground and environment for, like, high school-age kids.
Totally.
I mean, it just is.
Yeah, you wander around. Oh, there's the girl I like. You want to go on the Fireball with me?
Yeah.
And,
The food is amazing. It's like the best restaurant food you're ever going to have at that age.
Elephant ears, corn dogs. Gross,
and then for dessert, some nice cotton candy. I mean, it's the greatest restaurant ever. And then it's really easy to pop those balloons with a dart, and you get that badass like David Lee Roth mirror.
Fuck yes.
You know what I mean? Like 6x6 mirror.
I haven't seen those mirrors in a long time, man. Those were the coolest. Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Oh, I had a Motley Crue one, a Bon Jovi one, a Poison one.
Honestly, I think it was a logistics problem because if you think about like trying to get that shit there, storing it, setting it all up, these things go from town to town. They probably broke a ton of those. It's just easier to take a bunch of stuff shit.
Yeah, I wonder.
I remember having that too and trying to, I got to carry around a mirror all day.
Yeah.
Kind of sucked. You almost didn't want to win it.
I don't remember having that problem. Like that it was a
Did you ever
hindrance.
Win?
Well, dude, I won a ton, but
What'd you do with it after you won? Run it to a car?
Maybe, or just gave it to my mom or something. But I wouldn't have been at the Livonia Spree with my mom. Not when I was at an age where
you were too fucking cool for that.
Hell yeah. Maybe it was, and I didn't care. But yeah, like seeing your buddies and chicks from other schools, like it's
perfect.
It is
take
perfect.
$25-$30, and you have a good few hours.
Have a blast. Oh, so anyway, this amusement park ride had a little bit of a malfunction at an Ohio State fairground. So one of the riders was saying the seat began shaking. So she's in the seat and it starts shaking, just moments before this fatal crash. It started normal. Everything started normal, and then it started shaking. It was shaking real bad, DeVray Williams said. She said that the girl next to her also started to say her seat was shaking moments before DeVray watched the woman go flying off into the air. Oh. So the woman right next to her goes. The machine just snapped, and then the dude hit the ground. He wasn't breathing. None of them was. It was like 5 people. An 18-year-old man was killed on impact after he slammed into the ground when part of the ride just snapped off. 4 of the victims are in critical condition. Have you seen the video yet, Jay?
I don't. This
it's not a close-up.
A different one, maybe, but let it go. I've seen something on this. Yes, I've seen this one. This one. This guy's ripping off. Oh, fuck.
So was that the 18-year-old guy at the top?
I think he went a little bit later than the larger piece that you saw go.
Yeah, so that breaks up. Is that him tumbling through the air?
Yes.
Must be. Oh, my God, dude. That's so brutal. Imagine the rest of that ride for those people.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you automatically just assume the rest of the ride's going to fall off?
Sure.
Boy, that's going to be a big lawsuit. Oh, that's going to be a big lawsuit. Congratulations to the dead 18-year-old's family. I mean, this is...
Good news out of Columbus.
Wow. I mean, this is a lotto win. Who could you sue there? The amusement park? The carnival company? You're suing the city for permitting this? You're suing the township for where it is?
It sounds like the thing passed inspection like the week prior.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. Some engineers are going to have a field day on what went wrong and why and who should have known about it.
Well, they're saying, and look, I'm certainly not one to point fingers at any carny out there. Not at all. I mean, those guys,
The best of the best.
the best of the best. But some people are saying that they were screaming at him like, slow it down, man, slow it down. And enough people were yelling that he finally hit like the emergency brake.
Yeah.
And that's when it launched off.
Really?
Was like everybody knew, like, dude, this is going way too fast.
Wow.
Which seems weird.
You
would
think there'd
that,
be a major governor. Like, you push a button, it does this.
Yeah.
Not you push a button, then carny guy, again, the best of the best,
Yeah.
has discretion.
Right, I've never imagined the
Ramp
idea
it
that
up.
they're
Are you
like,
fucking kidding me?
like they always used to joke about that. I think like you'd see it in a TV show or something. Kid, oh,
Yeah, give
here's
you
10
extra
bucks,
10
and he's
bucks.
like, oh, turn it up.
No way,
That
right?
cannot be the case.
remember
No
when my
way.
Nana was in that one, and all we could see was her silver head
Yeah,
bouncing.
The Matterhorn?
It was the one that went around.
Matterhorn.
Yeah, it was a Matterhorn. And she was on there, and she's like, I want to go on there. And we're like, we'll watch. Knock him dead.
You
Nana.
stuck her on there by yourself?
I think so. She might have been with, like, my sister or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. But it was, dude, it was honestly the funniest thing I've ever seen because it was like, yeah, let's go in reverse. And you could see Nana was just like, all right, when's this ride?
Bag up.
Is this ride almost over yet? Yeah. And then they're going in reverse, and then it's like it stops, and Nana, you could see Nana like reaching for her belt, like, oh, thank God.
Right.
He's like, who wants to go around again? And everyone's like, yeah. And Nana's like, no, I'm good. And they're like,
I have not seen your Nana this happy in years.
and then it just starts fucking cranking, dude. Who wants to go faster?
Oof.
And at this point, it is moving at all you're seeing is just like a silverhead, 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 silverhead. And she got off that thing like she'd been shot, dude. It was so fucking funny. But that guy had control of it. I mean, he was able to speed that
Interesting.
thing up.
Wow, okay.
But it wasn't one that left the ground like the pirate ship
Yeah.
or these flying swings. Those flying swings one. Woo.
Oh, dude, those look tenuous as you're going
Yeah.
around and you're looking up at like what those straps are connected to, and you're looking at the couple bolts that connect the.
You know, it's funny because
the
I
seat
just
to the
did that
thing.
this weekend too. They have that at
Shit.
Faster Horses.
No,
and
no,
it's like,
no.
And I'm terrified of heights, but for some reason that's really cool to me still. Just getting up there in the view, I guess. And
It is. I'm the only thing I can think is if that thing snaps, I'm going to be launched like 100 yards, and when that
Still
thing's
in your
going,
swing.
just in your swing, and the whole time going, this is going to really suck when I land.
Yeah.
Like it's fun right now, but this is really going to suck when I land.
Slingshot.
Yeah, I won't go on those things. I think your kids did when we went to Cedar Point. I think they went.
Yeah,
on it.
no, they're still in that mode of like invincibility. That stuff doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
God, I mean, and it's like a shark attack, right? How many times do these things run all year long? And
yeah.
yeah, accidents are going to happen. We have one of these every year, it seems like. But this is
Yeah.
a particularly bad one, maybe. This many people injured.
it's
Yeah,
such a
critical condition.
You're right, though. It is a shark attack, and the reality is, like, I know it sounds corny, but if you lived your life based on everything, dude, that could be. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, driving on the road
Seems
could
like an
be-
easy one to knock out, though.
I
you
know,
and-
I know, but
Well,
It's like the pros and cons.
But these specifically, like I get it, the child feeling invincible. Like we were all there, and you always just felt like, just like your home life, someone's got this. Someone's got the
Some
bills.
adult let me go on this, and
Yeah.
they built this, and
Yes.
good to go.
Things got paid for. It didn't matter how. Like someone's got it. Someone always has that shit. Someone's on it. I don't have to worry about it. So when you're in line, you give the guy the ticket. Someone's got this shit.
Yeah.
The difference is these things that come to town for a week. It's like they're being built up and torn down, and built up and torn down,
Right.
and built up and torn. And then thank God for the carny themselves, because if it
Best
wasn't
of
for
the
those
best.
those trusting souls running those things, what with their pirate patches and wife beaters, I mean, God, who doesn't love those dudes? But if it wasn't for the trust that you have and the faith that you have that those guys got that shit, I don't know, man. Like Cedar Point at least is like it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
No, you definitely feel more about those ones, and you know they're hugely engineered. They're expensive as shit. Mm-hmm. Lots
And they're
of
running
research.
tests on them.
Yeah, lots of right. You definitely feel better at a Cedar Point. Like that would be shocking as all shit.
Yeah.
If some car went off a Cedar Point ride. This stuff, it doesn't surprise you.
It doesn't surprise me at all. And it really never did. I never, even though I say like, oh yeah, you're invincible, I remember being at those fairs like, boy, these just don't look as safe as those other rides. But it's not like they have a ton of accidents. Anyway, good news to report. We got Ohio Governor John Kasich released a statement. And I'll
Did you
relay
say
it to
fuck
everybody.
those people, or who cares? Or,
I was worried that, like, you know,
yeah, this doesn't really matter to me.
whatever. What's it got to do with me? They're going to get paid off like motherfuckers. Who cares? But no, he said, I'm terribly saddened by this accident. by the loss of life and that people were injured enjoying Ohio's fair. Our thoughts and prayers and all that shit go out to those grieving and injured. So,
end quote.
Yeah, it's great. Good for him. The State Fair also released a statement. Our hearts are heavy for the families involved in last night's accident. So that's great. Good to know. I didn't know what side of the argument they were going to be on, whether this was tragic or great news, and they're at least seeing it as tragic. Yeah. Chester Bennington, Jay, I hate to bring it up.
What do we have?
Not much. It sounds like
Don't
he used
remind me. This
I know.
sucks.
That's what I mean. It sounds like he used a belt. You know, that's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, it's kind of old reliable if you're going to hang yourself, right?
Would you go rope or belt?
Most people probably don't have enough rope
I might go
around. You have to
extension
buy
cord.
rope.
I might go extension cord.
That's not bad. Orange?
Maybe.
Yeah. You saying most people don't have enough rope to hang themselves, E?
I think you have to go out and get it, yeah. You son of a
He
bitch,
had
dude.
just enough rope. They left him just enough rope to hang himself, is
did
what
they?
happened.
We
in
give E
Chester's
just enough rope every day, don't we?
Real fucking funny.
His family, though, is saying the upcoming funeral, not the tour, but the upcoming funeral, they're leaning towards just family and really close friends.
The tour that was to start today
Yeah.
has been canceled, and instead we're
Yeah.
talking funeral.
TMZ apparently talked to a family source and said that they are considering how to give fans the opportunity for a public goodbye at a
Yeah,
later
you know what,
stage.
though? Don't invite any artist friends because we want this cycle to end. He was at Chris Cornell's, sang at Chris Cornell's,
Yeah.
killed himself a matter of days later.
Chester's family are very reluctant to have him buried next to Chris Cornell. Why would they have him buried right next to Chris Cornell? That seems a little odd, doesn't it? At the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, because it's too public, and they fear it'll just be like too many people will go there to check it out. He'd been open about his struggles, and I never read too much into his struggles.
Yeah, I just heard generally he had been abused by a family friend, I guess, an older dude.
Yeah, and then drugs and alcohol, the usual
Yeah.
like drugs and alcohol. But I never dug that much into it, like what he was into and stuff like that. But apparently, he was open about these, and in part being molested by a childhood friend. Coroner's report confirmed he committed suicide by found him hanging by a belt Thursday morning. They found no illegal substances or prescription drugs while searching his home. They reported that there was a half-empty bottle of alcohol in the bedroom where his body was found hanging. They're, awaiting tox results and all that. But that's a big window there. Half-empty bottle of alcohol. That could be a half a beer or a half a fifth of Jack.
Right.
There's a big difference. So when talking about Chester's problems and the demons that he was fighting, I guess his most shocking revelation came in 2008 when he was talking to Kerrang! Magazine. And his quote was, a friend a few years older than him began molesting him around the age of 7. It escalated from a touchy, curious, what does this thing do, into full-on crazy violations. I was getting beat up and being forced to do things I didn't want to do. It destroyed my self-confidence. He then suffered in silence for 6 years for fear of what would happen if he said anything. I didn't want people to think I was gay or that I was lying. It was a horrible experience, made worse as his parents divorced when he was 11. He was often left home alone after being left in the custody of his dad. I guess his dad was a police detective, and so he worked a lot of long hours.
Detective Bennington.
That's right. It was an awful time. I hated everybody in my family. I felt abandoned by my mom, my dad. My dad was not very emotionally stable then, and there was no one I could turn to. The sexual assaults finally came to an end when he was 13, and Chester has never publicly revealed who it was that assaulted him. He claimed he only got his confidence back when he started drinking and doing drugs. It was a problem that lasted way into my adulthood. The bandmates eventually staged an intervention in 2006. I was on 11 hits of acid a day.
Oh.
A day. I dropped so much acid, I'm surprised I can still speak. I'd smoke a bunch of crack, do some meth, and just sit there and freak out. Then I'd smoke opium to come down. I weighed 110 pounds, so I used pot to get off drugs. Every time I'd get a craving, I'd smoke my pot. In 2006, I had a choice between stopping drinking or dying. I did some counseling with the guys, and they really opened up and told me what they felt. I had no idea that I'd been such a nightmare. I knew that I had a drinking problem, a drug problem, and parts of my personal life were crazy, but I didn't realize how much that was affecting the people around me until I got a good dose of, here's what you're really like. It was a shock to me. They said I was two people, Chester and then that fucking guy. And he says, I didn't want to be that fucking guy anymore, and that's when he got help. So, not that much of it matters anymore, but, boy, that that sexual abuse stuff when you're a kid, it's amazing to me. Like I don't know why I always felt like you can get over things. Like you just would think that. You know
what's crazy is how cyclical apparently it is. Like you suffer that abuse, so you do it to someone else. You think like, God, that's the last thing that would happen. You'd be so horrific.
Yeah,
but it's just some sort of acting out and wanting to take that pain and put it on something else. Like,
dude, I've never wanted to babysit a kid though and let it grab my titties under the bra. Like,
hold on, you're putting that into the realm of molestation and abuse? Dude, I thought you were just getting some.
I'm a victim still, though.
I was giving you credit at 10 for just getting some, dude.
I like to take credit for that, but that's a defense mechanism. The fact is I was a victim of sexual assault at a young age. It's probably why I'm not married and don't have kids, and I'm a mess myself.
Fearful. You know, we should call this chick sometime.
Yeah. My mom, I asked my mom, like, what was her full name, and she's...
we know it.
Yeah, do you remember what her name was, her full name?
Yeah.
And it's kind of fitting, too, when you think of, like, what happened.
Sure.
I don't want to say anymore, but...
Yeah. Jennifer Big Tits.
Big Titays. She was Southern European.
Yeah.
Big Titays. No, but I do, seriously, and I don't mean to be offensive. I have family members who have dealt with this same exact issue. And it's always like, well, why can't you just get over that? It's not like there's a dependence to it, like where you've got drugs and something goes wrong, and you're like, fuck, I've got a craving to do this or do that. Where you can point an arrow at a response to something.
Dude, it's so damaging though to think about how innocent you are, and then to be taken advantage of by someone you look up to. And I can imagine that would just absolutely be scarring for life. I can see that.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it at all, because we hear it time and time again. It's just one of those that when I was younger, I just thought like, okay, so someone jacked you off, get over it, and it's like, no, dude.
They weren't a selfish lover, were they?
Yeah. There's something about that is just like years later, they're still trying to process this thing. It must be incredibly difficult to deal with. That's all. I don't mean to make light of it, I swear. Should we take a quick break, Jay?
Before you do that, Mike, I have a couple of housekeeping matters. YouTube subscriptions. Mentioned this in the past a couple times. I know only a sliver of you listeners get the show through YouTube, but it's helpful to us. In fact, think about this. Make a little TDC checklist. Social media, YouTube, whatever it is. Go through and just like our shit.
Yeah.
Like our shit, follow us. It's just helpful, to build numbers. It's helpful to obviously have bigger numbers for obvious reasons, but also to have SEO as
help
good
it
as we
churn
can. As best we can. YouTube is Google. Google is king.
Yeah.
So we want to try to bolster that YouTube piece of things.
It's such an important and different aspect to media than we've ever seen before or had to deal with. Like, listeners have a direct impact on how many people see the show, how many people get the feeds, how you show up in Google rankings, how you end up on page 1 of a Google search versus page 200.
Yeah.
Like, it's a direct result of what listeners do as far as liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. Those things are so hugely important.
Yeah, we don't have a big marketing team, It's just us, basically.
Yep.
And not to confuse with the world-famous band. But
keep it pushy.
Get out there and just like our shit, and specifically YouTube. Also, podcast awards, those are going to be closing down pretty soon, the nominations. So go to podcastawards.com and nominate us for mature comedy, entertainment.
Those are separate categories. Mature, comedy,
entertainment, people's choice. 4 separate categories.
There you go. We'll come back in a minute. Megyn Kelly's new show is about to fire up.
Ooh, riveting.
Yes. And then I've held the story for about a week, maybe more. But I've got this blogger who took some abuse online and is really upset about it. And I can't say I feel terrible for her. I'll explain when we come back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private... Hi, everyone. This is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private rooms at each location, both located in Shelby Township? We specialize in all kinds of events, from bridal and baby showers, dinner rehearsals, to corporate luncheons and wedding receptions. My team is committed to making your occasion your most memorable event. Give me a call today so that we can plan your next event. Call me at 586-596-1425 or visit our website at hamlinpubs.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
I don't know what the Detroit Cast is.
Nah, nobody does. Don't worry about it. Been dealing with that for 3 years.
Are we
Maryland.
under the assumption that's a dead person talking at this point? Or?
Yeah, I mean, she hasn't answered
to-
our calls. I suppose it warrants a call back. Try again.
It's possible she's been dead for 6 months and nobody knows yet.
And Jada's just eating her.
Yeah.
Jada's fat and happy.
Yeah.
Of course, we're referring to the mother of one Robert F. Gallagher.
Sure.
I'm a champion. It's crazy, isn't
That Bobby Gallagher.
Yes.
it? Nobody can do what I do.
Bobby fucking Gallagher!
Buffalo's finest.
I was on Channel 4 News riding a bicycle in a snowstorm.
That's why we're calling.
Love that son of a
I
bitch.
know, right?
Hey, Mike, I think congratulations are in order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Steve Gabbara. Did you-
thank
did
you.
you
I
see the-
appreciate. To Steve
Did you
Gabbara.
see
I thought
Gabbara?
you were right. I thought we were about to get congratulations.
No, Gabbara's holding a plaque. Look at that son of a bitch.
that poops.
Yeah.
All proud.
Yeah.
Look at that proud
Got
poops.
Anthony over his shoulder.
Oh, is Anton there?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Dude, they won the President's Award again. Zott Ford and Holly has been presented with their 6th President's Award, which goes to customer service, I think, greatness.
If I'm correct,
All
that's
right,
either 6 in 7 years or
I think
6 in a row.
I think
mean,
it's 6 and 7 years. That's the way I read that.
Wow. Who dropped the ball on that one
Well,
year?
E
I
was
wasn't
over
there.
there.
No, 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 no.
E was over
no.
there.
Nope. It happened a year after I got on.
Do you owe Zott Ford and Holly a presidential trophy?
No, no, no.
President's
They
trophy?
won. They won like 2 before me. 2. Then there was a year before I got there. Then there was like a down year, and then 4 in a row now. I think it's a 4-peat though now.
Okay, we've got a picture here with Gabbara front and center holding the award.
Yeah.
We've got 6 people. 6 people in the photo. Should we make E identify which one of these 6 is the biggest dick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go, E.
All right, E.
So these
Be
are
honest.
this is upper management at Zott Ford and Holly.
Yeah.
You know
All
what,
right, E.
dude?
So
I'm not just saying this to say this.
They're all great guys.
all great dudes.
All the people in this photo are the people I was like probably the coolest with, I guess.
Of course, that's why they're an upper
But
management.
if you had to pick one,
If I had to pick
Had to.
one,
just the biggest cocksucker in that
like,
picture.
yeah, like fuck that
Chris.
guy. Oh, Chris. Oh, Chris is not going to be happy. Which one's Chris?
Far left.
Far left. Let me
But-
see what let me see if he looks.
What's
like
your
a dick.
problem with Chris, man?
I don't even have a problem. I just
What'd you do to him, you son of a bitch?
You know what? That's bullshit, dude. Of all the people in this picture, I would say Chris looks the nicest. In fact, I had lunch one day with him when I was over there with Steve, and we had like lunch together in there.
Really?
You made me
yeah.
So do you
And
call
that
bullshit?
guy guy was cool as shit.
he was cool, but at the
I think the problem was you.
at the
E.
second half
Oh,
of my
there's no doubt about that.
at the second half of my stint, I was a new car porter, and he was my boss, and sometimes he had to get on me.
Oh, so the fact that he held
Discipline me.
he held you accountable for the
Standards.
shit job you did.
You know,
a dick. He makes me actually do the
work the way I'm
supposed to.
I had a situation one time where I had to go drop something off at his house, and it was all under on the up and up, but it was like on a Saturday, I think, or some shit. May or may not have driven over his yard a little bit. He had like just
He gave him a lawn job?
he just,
They're a sponsor of the show, for Christ's sake.
He's like, that guy's a dick. I'm giving him a lawn job.
I was driving a truck, and I'm not usually driving a truck, and
You Biebered it.
I think I kind of beavered his curb. He had like just spent a bunch of time like with mulch and shit, getting his yard just nice, and I just like right over the corner.
That's
of
the
his
worst
yard.
time to fuck up someone's right after they've landscaped their yard when that's
He
the first thing they
wasn't too
notice when they
happy
pull
about
in.
it,
Like,
actually.
He's loving his turf depth, the greenish shoe.
spectacular, yeah.
I
And then here comes
apologize.
Eve.
I said I'm sorry. In fairness,
Does it say what the President's Trophy actually is?
In order to achieve the President's Award, dealers must exceed customer expectations every day in every department. The pursuit of excellence requires passion, tenacity, and hard work. So it's basically a lot of people turning in surveys that have to be totally top notch.
Yeah. So everyone
not-
but Chris probably.
Service, sales,
Flying
everything. Gabbara says everybody has to pull their weight. It's really a measure of the entire dealership. So kudos to them, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been up there for several cars. They do a great job.
I have as
Renee
well.
and Anthony and the other folks there.
Yeah.
As we said, get up there, talk to Steve. He'll take you golfing. That's his
That's his
open
new
offer.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his new thing.
His new thing.
There it comes up. Where is
He doesn't even know about it. It's so new.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know about it.
Where
yet.
is he? Bloomfield Country Club?
I don't know where he's
It's
at.
not Oakland Hills. You know that.
It's not Oakland Hills. No, because I went to Oakland Hills and we were meeting him for lunch.
We're meeting for lunch. me and Steve are sitting there twiddling our thumbs like, huh, where's Mike?
And
Mike
I'm in the
calls,
parking lot.
Dude, where are you guys?
First one here I see. I don't see Jay or Gabbara anywhere. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What did I do? I called you.
Yeah. You're like, this is Oakland Hills, right? No, dude.
I'll
Anyway.
be there in an hour.
Congrats to Zott Ford and Alley.
Yeah.
Exit 98. Get there.
Very cool. Yeah, you don't usually see people at work like having a legitimately, genuinely good time. Usually it's it sucks to be at work. No one likes being at work. But every time I go in there, it's like between Gabarra and Anthony and all of them, they're having a blast. So, yeah, go see them.
Work's terrible here.
I know it's a drag
every
here.
day.
Getting ragged on all the time. I mentioned just before the break that Megyn Kelly's eagerly anticipated show.
As we are as well. I mean, all of us, right?
Sure.
I can't wait.
This is the morning piece. So she has the Sunday night piece that's flopped incredibly, and now she's going to begin her morning show up against like Good Morning America and all that shit, right?
Yes. Well, they still have the Today Show, which is really highly rated. But then there was that last hour, like Al Roker did, from like 9 to 10 or something, where it was like,
I'll take your word for it. I'm not unfamiliar.
Like the Al's opinion or whatever their dumb show was, and so they've got Megyn sliding in there, and it sounds like they're having a meeting today to announce to the staff. I hope the staff's not listening. I don't want to blow the surprise, but it sounds like the show's going to be called Megyn Kelly Today, and air from 9 to 10.
I said it.
That took some real genius up in marketing and.
Can you see that being passed around the consultants? Like, okay, this Megyn, we've got it. We spend many man hours on this. Here you go. Just take
some
a look.
consultant just got paid a shit ton of money to make that name.
Fuck yes.
I'm thinking we go with Good Morning Megyn.
No, we considered that.
Your name is Megyn. It's in the morning.
Guys,
we don't want to confuse
guys, you're not even. There's Good Morning America. We cannot look like we're ripping off their show.
This isn't America. This is Megyn.
America This Morning with Megyn.
No,
Megyn in the morning.
Yeah.
That sounds like a radio show. Sounds like a hack radio show. I say we go with Megyn Kelly Today.
It's the Beagle.
Speaking of hack radio shows.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Oh, man, that was
I
a
would
fucking
never.
cheap shot.
I would never say that and mean it.
Beagle is so much more entertaining than anyone in this room. You realize that, right?
I guarantee he is. No disrespect, Mr. Beagle.
Looks like it's going to debut at 9 a.m. Weekdays starting September 25th.
On where? On NBC?
Yeah. Yep, that's where she works.
Okay.
So it'd be
she's going NBC Sunday nights, ABC Monday morning.
This would truly be breaking news if it was like she's doing ABC at 9 and NBC on the weekends.
Could have been on cable.
Not really.
No, couldn't have been.
Remember the huge story, the blockbuster of a story where they were paying
Locked her down.
$120 million or something. Meanwhile, her Kelly's ratings challenge, the evening show ratings challenge. That's an interesting spin. We'll wrap up with 2 episodes earlier than was expected.
Oh.
With this Sunday's episode featuring Ricky Gervais.
What about Mike Lindell?
I don't know. He better be in there. I better not get broomed for some piece of shit who's not even American like Ricky
Mike
Gervais.
Lindell, can you hear me?
But Ricky Gervais said he's not even from here.
God's got his hand in this, and I truly believe that.
Megyn Kelly Today will replace Today's Take with Al Roker.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So they're still going with the Today Show today. Yeah, you wouldn't think you could if it was a white guy brooming Al Roker, we'd have a problem. It would be racist, but
yeah, female, I guess.
It's a white
female versus formerly fat, now skinny black guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how that plays.
Yeah.
We'll have to poll.
Touch and go, but yeah, it's the femmes versus the
formerly fat, now skinny black guys.
Yeah. Who's strong. He's just white knuckling it through life, man. I'm telling you, every time they have a food segment,
really,
he is the first on the set. He's in there while they're still making it, just like sticking fingers in bowls and licking it and stuff. Like, it's killing him. It's killing him. You always know the food addict when they're hovering around the food. K-Dog sits here, brings a sandwich, and it sits there for 3 hours unwrapped.
Yeah.
I get the food, I'm like, more.
That's all we got?
They need to make these sandwiches bigger.
Yeah, so, he's that guy. He's charging onto the set guy to eat the food. NBC News, they're saying that bosses have been very patient, especially since that was a limited summer run with her show, and they are very happy with the strong journalism and quality of the program.
Yes.
Both of those things are completely irrelevant in the big scheme, though, because what they're more impressed with as far as like quality journalism or quality of the program is like how many eyeballs saw it.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. If she goes on there and farts into the camera mic for 30 minutes and people watch the hell out, they would watch the hell out of that. And she gets the ratings, they don't care anymore about quality journalism.
I love Ricky, man. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have cable. I don't really have TV at
Yeah,
all, so I'll just
Slingbox, so
I'll wait
literally
for it
get
to hit
everything that's on TV.
YouTube. I'll just hit YouTube.
There you go. Well, good luck to her. I don't know if that's going to work. But she better pull some numbers in that morning slot, man.
Oh.
There's a lot riding on this.
Gentlemen?
Yes.
And then we're
Gonna hand our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas today at 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call him today, 248-765-1781. Ask for fellow DetroitCast listener Doug Steinert. Had great reports back from people who have used Doug, so give him a call. If you've got a house to sell or a house to buy, give him a call.
Yeah, it's a good time, too. I hate to pile on these stories, Jay, and I've held this one back for about a week and a half. It's just kind of been sitting here.
But it's been eating at you.
It has. It hasn't been meeting at me, but it's been eating at me.
Meeting? I said a meal.
A size 24 British fashion blogger.
24, that's big, right?
I think so. What
that's
size
not
is Gab?
small.
Like a 0 or a 1?
It would be smaller than 24. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go on record and agree with that. And so she took some abuse, apparently, from people when she ended up in a Vogue magazine shooting a bikini. Callie Thorpe is her name. She shared the clip. She was very proud of this. She was alongside models like Kendall Jenner, Carly Kloss, who I'm not familiar with, Ashley Graham, who is she's kind of the fat model too, I think, and then Bella Hadid. She was so elated, that she's kind of a media or a social media star, one of these YouTube bloggers that does well, and so she wanted to share her joy on Twitter. But she received some unexpected backlash on this.
Really unexpected?
Yeah. She spoke to Yoo-Hoo about her body-positive image, her successful blogging career, and so she couldn't wait to go and see the story they posted and read the comments.
Yoo-Hoo!
Yeah.
Is that the bathing of Apollo?
Is that Jackson? Yeah. So she looks, and there are 900 comments, of which about 899 of them were negative. Yeah. Kayla says she wants to encourage others to speak out against online trolls. Good luck with that. We can't just keep pretending this is not happening. They were just so awful that I couldn't even get them out of my mind after I read them. There were 900 comments, and pretty much all of them were vile. They were violent, abusive, and it was just the worst thing I've ever read in the whole 5 years I've been blogging. So she still says it was an amazing week for her, appearing aside these supermodels, and she praised Vogue for their brave coverage of her, including her in the shot. It's the first time I've ever seen Vogue feature any diversity, really. I was really proud of it. I can't understand how people can be so hateful. I'm very sad at the prospect that people going through this are alone. Please use your voice. Please use your report button. Please email people. Yeah, it got so bad they had to shut the comment section down. Thing. Like, just no, we can't do anymore. And my thought is, like a lot of these things, I don't know how someone like that, a size 24 in a bikini, you want to be a size 24 in a bikini all day long and march up and down the beach proud, and someone takes a picture of you and posts it on their Facebook page and goes, what a fat slob piece of shit, and starts shaming you, by all means, go after that guy. That guy's an asshole. But when you do a Vogue shoot and end up in a magazine...
You're an equal asshole if you're on there shaming somebody through a Vogue page. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Here's the difference to me, though, Jay, is you're trying to go, look at me, I'm just like everybody else. And meanwhile, you're surrounded by beautiful women, and you know you don't look like them, and you know what the deal is. The deal is those people are judged, period. That's what it is. You don't know Kendall Jenner. You're looking at her smoking hot ass and her nice titties. Like, it is what it is. It's always been that way. It always will be that way. Men are pigs. Women want to judge other women's bodies. And so when you put...
You're trying to shoehorn fatness into hotness.
Yes, and it's not going to work. And for her to be crying and upset at that, I'm sorry that hurt your feelings. But honestly, did you expect anything else than that?
Yeah.
You can't possibly think people are going to go, oh, my God, but you
post a lot of this is done for this follow-up story, though. You do this knowing trolls will come, and then you do this follow-up story. It's like, oh, my God, hateful people. Oh, I wish the world was better. And then you get, like, second press about it.
Maybe.
I think it's like a cycle. I think the whole package is known. They know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's controversial.
Yeah. But I don't like being in that faux world we're in right now, where if you look at the first few comments when she shared this, it's like probably friends or friends of friends and coworkers or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, you go girl, beautiful, stunning, gorge, wow, heart. And then you get one prick in there going, hey, you look like a fat tub of shit, lose weight.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Dixie Chicks when they spoke out against Bush, and they were like, free speech, we can say whatever we want, and it's a so hateful response. Like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but there's repercussions. Same thing with this, man.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and post your big fat bikini pictures, but don't be surprised if people call you a big fat ass in a bikini.
Yeah. And the truth is, the weird part about this is, you know, we've got a society that our food is what it is. It's very processed. It's very sugar heavy. It's very salt heavy. It's making us all fat. Everybody, myself included, eating all this processed bullshit. And you don't see this problem in third world countries where people don't have access and means to this stuff. And so we've done this to ourselves. We know it's completely unhealthy. And I think it's a really shitty message to send kids like, you know what? You look gorgeous no matter what. You go, girl. You be you. And it's like, yeah. And I said it a couple weeks ago. Fine, but you're dying missing a foot. When you die, when you go to your grave, you're going to be missing a foot. Sorry.
Well, I think it's a fine line. I think it's great to send people the message that, you know, we're all useful, important people, and you shouldn't worry about what you look like on the outside necessarily. But there is sort of that. But we're not also going to make your body type heroic sounding because it is unhealthy.
Yeah.
And moreover, just hotness, like it's what's rare, right? It's part of that's part of what draws somebody. Oh shit, that's the one right there because it's rare. It's not everybody. It's not the whole population.
Right.
So you're shoehorning like everybody and their brother into what's hot now, and at its very basic, level of judging someone on looks is a rarity. Oh my gosh, those eyes are unbelievable. I haven't seen. Well, if everybody's my eyes count just as good as anybody's eyes.
Yeah.
Well, then you've just kind of like neutered the whole process of judging.
Do you honestly, serious question, do you think Jeremy Meeks is a model or anyone gives a shit if he's got brown eyes?
No, he's got those striking blue eyes.
I seriously.
You're talking about the hot felon.
Oh, I am. Jeremy Meeks, his eyes.
They'll melt you.
They will. They're stunning. And you go, that's different. You don't see that every day. And that's where and let's be honest about what it is. It's looking this way, and it's pursing your lips and sticking your ass out in a way, or hunching your back and your shoulders, and you're wearing this, and it's got cleavage or body paint, and people just go, man, guys are looking to go, man, I look the fuck that, holy shit.
Like, and in large part because it's extraordinary. It's not what you see every day.
Right.
And that's why it's exceptional. That's why people point the finger. That's why those people are in the magazines. That's why they're put up on this pedestal, rightly or wrongly, but it's exceptional. Now, if we take that away and just put everybody in there, that's great. Everybody should feel great about themselves. And I'm not saying trolling is okay.
And
but to say that you're not as hot as Bella Hadid, sorry. I mean, 99.9% of the people out there would agree that you're just not.
I think 100% would agree with that.
There's some chubby chasers.
Maybe. The other thing is, it's that business. When you talk about the arts, when you talk about entertainment, when you talk about modeling, that's what it is. You're judged. People are going to go, ugh, I don't like the way her feet look in those shoes. Like, that's the whole thing. So if you want to fucking demand that you get invited to the ball, well, then don't change what the ball is. The ball is purely judgment on looks. That's it.
Yeah.
You are picked because your nose looks this way. You're not picked because your ears look that way. It's not about shame. It is what it is. There's an end game and a goal. And so if you're going to be fat chick and go, ta-da, everybody look at me and I'm so beautiful, you're going to get judged, and you're not going to like what they say. And when you go and look at 900 comments and you go, I just can't believe almost every one of them was vile and crazy. It's like, no, yeah, I don't want to be a part of the group that goes, everybody, Caitlyn Jenner, and we go, oh my God, you are gorgeous. You go girl. No, you look like a freaky, weird 65-year-old white dude with a wig, a bad dress. Everything about your body looks manly. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go, gorge, stunning, love it, so I can get moral praise from everybody else going, oh, how accepting they are. Yeah. Look. No, you're lying. And behind their backs, they're going, what the fuck just walked by me?
Yeah, if the point is, like, let's process a good body image here in our society. Let's make sure that people aren't shamed because of how they look. That's one thing. But it's a totally different thing to take that and go, all right, this fat, unhealthy look right here is beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just that's not what most people would say, and that's okay. You're still a good, important person. You're
Great
just not
person.
beautiful.
Yeah, you're just not in that 0.001% of society. Sorry. You know, they're not going to make an album with you on it. They're not going to fucking put you in a...
But maybe you're the smartest person ever. Maybe you're a great author. Maybe you're great at X, Y, and Z.
And if I saw you in a magazine because you're an astrophysicist and you look huge, I'd go, good, go. Yeah, brag about that. But if you're in a bikini, like, look at me, look how hot... That's basically what you're doing is going, huh? Boys, over here, look how hot I am.
I think 99% of these stories, and we see a lot of these, are for this reaction. It's to troll out. They cast a line out, and the trolls just bite. And then so you have both stories. You have the first one where she appears in Vogue, and oh, wow, isn't that great? And Vogue's so accepting, and this is beautiful. And then you've got the second one. Oh, we have so far to go.
Yeah.
So far to go.
I think that's a great point, and I think I'll go a step further, Jay, and say Vogue only puts someone like this in there knowing that it's going to get the reaction, and the fight starts again.
Yeah,
I don't think
they know
Vogue
you're ugly.
Vogue doesn't give a shit about pushing, like, fat chicks. They don't. It's not in Vogue's best interest. They know where their money is made, and they know the Detroit cast will never mention Vogue magazine unless it's something like this.
There you go.
And then Vogue gets to stand back and go, well, we tried. I mean, we're inclusive. We think every body type is beautiful, even though we've only featured one exact body type our entire existence.
We've sniffed you out, Vogue.
Yeah, we're on to you, Vogue, Sports Illustrated, anywhere Ashley Graham appears.
Mike, we have post and quite a bit of email that I'd like to get through before the end of the week.
All right.
Because what I find is sometimes it stagnates.
Are you saying I ramble too much?
No, I'm just saying we
you
could
saying
now turn our attention to post and email if you'd
I've
like.
got stories here.
What do you think, E? You make the call, E. Post your stories.
He wants to get out of here.
Post email
No, I
stories.
don't. But I like you know what? I like hearing the email.
Well, all right.
We could
In
do
other words, shut up, Mike. I got it.
I did not
It's fine.
say that.
Basically.
Ray posts in.
You didn't have to.
I'm the third.
You didn't have to.
Hey, I'm only the guy over here, dude. Your name's on the board. You want to write fucking? Tell
He
him
gave you judges' rights, dude. He handed you the judges' rights.
Jay only gives me judging rights when he knows I'll go his way.
I had a feeling.
And what did you do? Well, I enjoy email, passive aggressively saying, "Shut the fuck up, Mike."
I did not pass
It was Jay. Stand by your decision, His Honor.
Friday.
Yeah. Let's get to post. Ray posts in with a beautiful mosaic of Princess Winona, of course, the mother of Hiawatha. Okay, this is Feather Not Dot. India.
Oh, boy, is it.
Mike, J.E., greetings from the UP. I stopped in Houghton in an attempt to speak to someone on the lack of pageantry in the city for TDC Day, which, of course, was June 9th.
June 9th, 6-9.
But Jeff was nowhere to be found. Again.
Did he go by the city buildings, did he say?
As we know, Jeff can eat it, Ray.
That's right.
Yeah, he claims to have gone by.
Yeah.
I wonder if he just wrote that down or if he really went in the building.
We have an unsigned post here. Welcome to Michigan, Great Lakes, Great Times, Detroit, USA. Fun fact, in 1983, Mike Fady blew a load in his wife Fran. 9 months later, the Big E. Fun fact, oral and anal are technically illegal in Michigan. Fun fact, Michigan is the home of the greatest podcast ever, the Detroit Cast.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful. What's on the front?
Unsigned. Thank you, unsigned poster. And then we have A coming in from Texas. This is an interesting postcard in that we have a word search, the first interactive postcard that we've received. I think.
kind of like that.
I
you
do
don't like
too.
that, E?
Well, you know, A took
the
liberty here, and he not only found all the words like howdy, y'all, etc., yonder, dang.
He sent us a used.
Well, he did a good job though. He found some other words like cock,
What?
duh, Satan, yak. Look at that. He did some work on that son of a bitch.
He did find cock. Look at that.
Front and center.
Yeah.
It almost looks intentional.
Sure
Like
does.
the maker of said word search was.
I found so and at. Like so.
So.
So what? I don't care. Screw that guy. I also found
Marcel!
No shit. I'll be damned.
Huh?
God damn it, Marcel!
God
damn it, Marcel!
Marcel.
How do you have
Marcel!
Dude, that like jumps out at you.
Marcel!
I was you know where I was going with that? I was gonna say I found Arsencello. I found that and then I was like, wait a minute, no,
I'm gonna dumb that down.
Marcel! Marcel! God damn it, Marcel!
We have Elf.
Derek,
Marcel.
this is my boy Derek. He's a good boy.
This is Marcel. He's not so good.
This is Marcel. He's not so good.
Fun fact, Texas.
Said that in front of both boys.
Texas Hall. That's Uve.
What were their reactions of these be? Just like whatever.
Dude,
nice.
We were little, and I was first being introduced to Dedek and Marcel, and my mom was with me, and there's
Uwe.
Yeah, there's Uwe standing with the boys, and this is Dedek. He's a good boy. This boy Marcel, he's not so good. My mom never forgot that.
Was floored.
Yeah,
she
thought it was,
loved telling that story.
She thought it was awesome.
She loved that one and the one when Uwe came over.
Yeah, Uwe was rolling. We had like a private drive that went by my drive. Well, it's hard to explain. Anyway,
it was a weird setup.
It went to my house, Derek's house, and then a third house. And so he's rolling by, and my mom's standing on our driveway. So he's like right there, and he's like, Cheryl, blah, 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 blah. And my mom, after 25 years living next to this guy, had no idea what he was saying. You know, the rest of us picked up. Yeah, it was a thick German accent.
You got
till
enough.
The end,
you
got
got
enough. You know, you picked it out, sort of like Bugatti Casino.
Yes,
you got just enough to figure it out. Well, it turns out he was calling her over to tell her some really important news, but she did what she always does with Uwe and just, oh, hi, Uwe. Yeah, oh, okay.
Oh, that's great,
oh,
Uwe.
that's
great news.
Great. Okay,
wow.
We'll see ya. He was telling her that his mother died.
She was like, oh, my God, Uwe, that's great.
So that is one of Margaret's favorite stories, because Uwe went home, God damn it, that fucking bitch.
Goddamn Cheryl next door. Fuck Cheryl.
Telling her my mother died, and oh, great.
Great news stuff. Fuck you, too. Hope your father dies.
Sending the dog over to shit on their lawn again.
Why was he driving down the, like...
Well, he was right there, and they met, and...
It seems like an odd thing to bring up.
No,
yeah,
it was a... Well, you'd had conversations right there. Like, their driveways almost met in this roundabout thing.
Right, to just launch on my mom. Right, hey, my mom died today.
Well, you could see it. Your mom's waving, hi, Uwe, how's it going? And he stops and goes, well, honestly,
that's so good. It's my mother passed away today.
German. I still have friends I haven't told them my grandma died. I mean...
Nana?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to just, like, text people and just be like,
send her our eulogy to Nana.
There you go.
And that's just an easy way to put that out there.
I remember bringing
That's why we did it, for you.
Yeah, of course.
The eulogy.
I don't know if you were there, Jay. You might have been away at school, but if you were, you'll remember it. I remember we used to go over to Margaret and Uwe's all the time for schnitzel.
Fuck yes. I've eaten like pounds of schnitzel.
Yeah, I mean the lemon, the cucumber salad.
It's delicious.
It's the greatest meal ever. And we would go over there and we'd sometimes bring girlfriends or whatever.
God damn it.
And I remember going over there once with a new girlfriend, and we all sat at the table.
You fucked that yet?
Yeah, you're gonna hit that. You're gonna put out tonight, sweetheart. These are growing boys. They need all they can get.
Yeah, he would say shit like that at the table, and you're like, yeah.
Hi, Uwe. Yeah.
These are good boys.
You see why my mom reacted that way.
Make sure you take care of them. They're good growing boys. They need to bust a nut every once in a while. Don't you forget that, sweetheart.
Pat her on the ass. But no, he's sitting there, and he has this. He's running the table. You know, he would sit there and read his paper, and then we would all be eating and talking and laughing, and Uwe's carrying on and this and that.
Holding court, so to speak.
Yeah, he's the king of his castle. And I remember walking outside, and she goes, oh, my God, I didn't know he didn't speak English. She thought he was speaking German the whole time, and, like, we understood him. And I'm like, he was speaking English the whole time. She's like, what? What? She's like, I honestly didn't catch one
Who was that?
word.
Which girl?
I want to say...
So many girls.
I don't think it was a girlfriend.
So many chicks having dinner with Uwe.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember. It was so long. It was, like, just after high school, probably.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, Texas, fun facts. Thank you, sir. Holds 90% of the world's recoverable helium in the ground under Amarillo. Did you know that? Fun fact.
No,
Second fun fact. Eric loves the song Amarillo.
I almost just started to sing it, dude.
Amarillo by Morning, sung by George Strait.
Yeah, I was literally singing it. If you really
How does the rest of it go?
Funny. No,
Amarillo by morning.
No. No, that's not how it goes.
Love the way that red man tastes.
No.
Man, I'd love to fuck her face.
Amarillo by Morning is a great George Strait song.
How does it go, E? How does that chorus go?
I'm trying to think now. How's it go? Amarillo by morning, up from Santa Fe. I don't remember.
It's your favorite song.
I know it's not my favorite song. I know it. I can't.
So Amarillo by morning, something Santa Fe. I like hookers until it's time to pay.
Think of it right now.
Is that how it goes?
If I was playing it, I could sing it. But I'm not gonna. I know if it's in the car, I can sing it.
Mike emails in.
If I'm in the car, okay.
If I'm alone in the shower.
No. Like if I can hear it, I can sing it. I don't have it memorized.
No, I gotcha. Mike emails in. What's up, fellas? Listening to the funeral discussion. Could not agree with Mike more. I feel like 90% of people who go to funerals are there just to see how stupid you look as a dead body.
Yep.
I'm 41. I've only been to 2 funerals my entire life, and when I think of those people, I just remember how stupid they look dead. Viewings are gross and outdated. I'll never willingly go to one unless I have basically no choice, immediate family. And my top request is to not put my stupid-looking dead body on display.
Totally agree.
Well, Mike, I hope you have that in writing. I hope you have your loved ones well-informed on that.
It is such a grim thing that we do. Like this.
Is it outmoded and outdated? Like
yes.
he says outdated, and it got me wondering, like, yeah, maybe it is, dude. Like,
I think it is.
Does anybody need that for closure?
That's what they say, right? Oh, it's for closure. Like,
so
no,
you can
man.
actually see that person's in there. And yes, he died. If somebody tells me somebody dies,
I'd never question that. I mean, unless he owed me a shitload of money.
Yeah.
You know, then I might be like, did he? How convenient. Did he? Really? You know?
Also, I'd like to harken back to the pajama discussion of 2015 or whatever. I, too, sleep with pajama pants and a T-shirt. Hell yeah, Mike.
Weirdo.
I can't sleep naked, he says. What if there's a fire? What if someone breaks in my house? Pajama pants and a tee look way cooler than being naked while beating off a burglar or talking to the cops. If a burglar breaks into Mike's house, who has the advantage if Mike is nude?
I'm not nude. Where is this coming from? I'm not nude.
Would you rather be Mike or the burglar? What if it's a gay burglar? PJ pants all the way. Good day.
Either way, I'm scaring the burglar. No, I'm not nude. I'm not nude. I wear my boxer short brief things.
He's got those little bikini briefs.
Yeah, I got my thong on. It says whore on the ass.
Dude, it sounds like more people have rigged refrigerators than we'd probably think.
Really?
Yeah, I got several emails about this. Steve writes in, what's up, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and Tweedledum? Been a while since I emailed in. Going through a divorce will do that, but I'm still in the members area. Good boy, Steve. Thank you. Anywho, I recently rigged my Outlaws fridge. That's for Mike. A wordplay on in-laws. Get it? Now they're Outlaws.
Gotcha. That was good.
Recently did that by using a hasp, a lock hasp or latch, if you will. I'm sure being...
I don't hasp one of those.
Sure, being prior employees at Jeans Hardware, you're familiar with said part. It works awesome, though it does require a bit of mechanical ability. Good luck, love the show, and all that shit. So you know what? You're familiar with the hasp.
I'm familiar with how many customers came up to me and said, "Yeah, where are your hasps?" And I said, "Hold on, let me get the expert in the hasp department." Jay. This gentleman needs some help in the hasp department.
I know that's your passion and expertise.
This is really Jay's field. So, Jay, if you wouldn't mind helping.
That honestly happened on a daily basis where we would off customers on each other. We were, juniors, seniors in high school.
Yeah.
Some guy would come in, and they were usually, like, expert-looking dudes who come into Jeans Hardware. You had kind of two. You had, the weekend warrior dad who just has a couple little fixes he needs to do, but most of the time those tradesmen would come in, you'd be like, fuck.
Yeah, they know 10 times what you do.
I know where copper pipe is, but I don't know what it's used for or how to cut it properly.
Think about now, Jay, if you had to deal with that
threading,
now.
Dealing with the threading and copper tubing.
Oh, dude.
If you went into a store now and you got the runaround like that, it'd be a grievance.
They had to see through us, right? When it was like one knucklehead junior in high school was like, oh, yeah, Jay's our expert in that.
Yeah,
it's like,
ball cocks are over here.
And then you'd spring it on Jay, and you could just like...
Yeah,
it
Jay's
was like,
not the
fucking
expert.
son of a bitch. But then you couldn't like have that argument in front of the customer, so it was like, well, good luck with that, expert, and then walk away. And so it was just a
like
game.
A cigarette at the back of your head. Because you could just stand in there and smoke and put cigarettes out on the ground.
Just throw them on the ground, whatever.
No problem.
It's cool. Hold on. I'll be right with you, just blowing smoke in some lady's face. Hold on, I'll be done. I'm going to break. Can't you see I'm going to break?
Absurd. Our little vests. We had the blue vest with pockets, so you had to have your tape measure. You had an X-Acto knife.
Yep.
What else with you? Was there a pen?
It was a pencil, not a pen, a pencil. You remember those thick wood ones that you could write on
wood?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
the best job ever.
Man. Thanks for bringing that back up, Mike, I think it was. Tom writes in, Dear King et al., after the second time we lost the contents of our fridge/freezer due to the door hanging open due to our sweet pie not the fridge giving it up. So the sweet pie was at issue here. She wasn't closing the door.
Yeah.
We came up with a good solution. Baby latches. These are the plastic straps that stick to the door and have a clip that slides into the piece on the side like a seatbelt. I can totally picture these. And he's right in that it would keep that together, but we have a different issue here, Tom. You're not exactly...
Yeah, it's a double front, like the freezer and fridge. It's not like the freezer's on the bottom and the fridge is one opening thing. It like opens in the middle.
Right.
Left side freezer, right side fridge.
It works so well, says Tom. I replaced the bungee cord on my small fridge in the camper with one of these. I agree with the cult leader on this. The bungee is way too complicated. You can find these things anywhere baby-proofing items are sold, and as an added bonus, since they are designed to keep the mentally feeble babies out of the fridge, Biggie will be stymied as well. I love the word stymied.
Yeah, it's a great
win-win. Miguel could also try putting a shim under the front edge of the fridge so the door has gravity helping it too. Ciao, bye, or whatever, Tom. Thank you for the thoughts, Tom.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think the
theory.
shim, building up the bottom a little bit, taking the pressure off that hinge could work. I just think it's so far gone.
Yeah.
I think something has to be done.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I think that's. I think we'll save the rest for next week.
Okay.
Got through a decent amount there.
Yeah, we did. Thank you, everybody, for hanging with us this week. We, as always, appreciate that. I hope that you will all join us again next week. We'll have some fun and have a great weekend. Go check out DCFC if you get some time this weekend. They're playing Friday and Saturday night.
If they win
Possibly.
Friday, they'll play Saturday.
Either way, there's semifinals and finals championship games going on at Keyworth Stadium. So that'll be fun, man. It's an inexpensive way to have a really good time. Even I've gotten into it. So with that, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys next week.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.